Bernard Moitessier were both, he was older than I, but we were similar. And we hacked out this philosophy. We just told each other how we thought, to become a part of the sea. Now, Bernard, of course, carried this to the ultimate. He was winning the first race around the world. And as he told me later, if he'd have carried on back to France, de Gaulle would have kissed him and given him the Croix de Guerre, and he said, and carried on from the middle of the Atlantic coming north, turned round and went round Cape Hope, yeah, and across to right down into the Roaring Forties, sped before he'd already gone round the world, sped before the Roaring Forties, turned sharp left and went up to Tahiti, where he got himself two very attractive girls and disappeared for 3 years into the Vanuatu Islands. Now that to me was far more intelligent than going back and being greeted as a hero for the first man around the world. Anyhow, we sailed 1,500 miles up through the Caribbean from Trinidad.
In the new boat?
In the new boat.
What happened was, you were writing a book, you had made a drawing of this new boat, and you were sitting there getting tropic.
Yeah. And Bernard Moitessier came on the raft, and he looked around, and he said, he saw the manuscript, which is still there, never been finished, the manuscript like that, and then he saw the drawing of the boat. He said, "What's this?" I said, "That's my new catamaran." He said, "Perfect, build it." I said, "I've got to finish my book, I've got to..." "You men rot inland. This is the boat, build it." And he said, "I will help you." And he went and helped me to steal wood for the building base. And we cut out the moulds together and the frames together. And the boat was near ready for planking. And he said, "I now go. I go." And he went. So that was Bernard Moitessier.
That's how you could start building it.
And so, so it was Bernard Moitessier who pushed me instead of dreaming on a raft. And the boat sailed. The second sail of the boat, there was an Englishman had imported a very expensive Laurent Giles Brittany class, about the same size as a 40-foot Rongo. And he'd been very helpful. And on the first sail, he said, I will show you the way. So we put the sails up, we passed it, and sailed circles around him. I'd like to say it was because I was a genius. It wasn't that I was a genius, it was just that the boats are superb. So
I think in the Rongo, you had quite a bit of inspiration, apart from reading the books about the actual Pacific boats. I think studying all the boats on the coast of Portugal. And
I'd studied. Hanneke's drawn attention to the fact that when I sailed down the coast of Portugal, working fishing boats were at every village, and they were different. And that was where I began to become a marine historian, because I was ashore, I was measuring them, I was talking to the fishermen how they sailed. Occasionally I went in up to me backside pulling the boats up the beach.
And I think your overhangs and the flare, and that came partly from that.
Hanneke is correct. The concept of flare and overhangs is used basically all over the world in open boats. The Rongo had influences within the design. There was my knowledge of the sea, there was my studies of the ships, similar ships that worked off the coast that were in rough seas, and they all went into the Rongo. And the Rongo was successful.
And Rongo really became the basis of these type of boats.
Yeah, it's the basis. So I did it with experience, lots of experience which I've described. The actual sea taught me how to feel. It's a feeling. So how these boats have developed is with a lot of practical experience, a lot of failures, and bit by bit your brain starts shedding away until one day you come into a shape and you can get that shape and it works. Remember, I had nothing to go on except models in the museum, except Canoes of Oceania, which was just drawings of ships, and Eric de Bishop. So I'd learned all the practical things with the tools. The sea itself taught me